Life's not promised to us. Every day we wake up is another chance. It's not a guarantee. So if I'm here, I'm going all out. Comfort never builds anything worth remembering, so this is what I'm doing. This is what resilient looks like to me. You know, consistency and resiliency are everything. I mean, that's the basis of this account. It's the basis of my channel and my brand. If there's two things that have gotten me to this point in marathon prep so far, I'm 4 weeks or 4 months into marathon prep going into it, and there's two things. It's consistency and resiliency. So when you look at that consistency piece, it's structuring your day and your week and your month and your whole plan, knowing that you've got to hit these runs, you've got to hit these paces. You have to show up day in and day out. You have to hit leg day on Wednesday, and then you show up for your long run on Saturday. And whether you're feeling good or whether you're not feeling good, whether you're sick or not, you show up because you care. And, when you think outside of a marathon or outside of an Ironman triathlon or outside of a bodybuilding competition, those carry on to it, right? Those things are just as applicable in real life as they are in our training. And I think that's why there's so many achievers, high achievers, and successful business owners and people in life. They all have some type of endurance sport that they're attached to. And while you can say and make the argument that there are people out there that are just as successful without it, I can promise you, or I'd be willing to make the argument that it's far and few between. The second piece of that is resiliency. And I've probably gotten sick 3 or 4 times during this marathon prep, and it sucks. You wake up with a cold and you're physically drained, or maybe you ate something wrong the night before and it's like you get the thought in your head, let me just push this run, or let me not run this week, let me not do this one. And then you get up and you're like, who am I? There are people begging to run today, right? And you get that in your head. And then you're like, you promised yourself that you're going to run this marathon at this goal time. And, whether you're physically capable of running it at this goal time, that's one thing, but I'll be damned if I don't do everything I can to get to that goal, right? So you owe it to yourself to show up day in and day out. And the discipline, the resiliency, and the consistency, so those two pieces, consistency and resiliency, add up to your success in the end. So it's like you got this guarantee, but you have to get the mindset right in your head that if I don't do work, then the guarantee is I won't ever get there. So it's a promise yourself that you make, and you show up every single day and you get after it. Those are the two pieces that I've really stayed true to in this marathon prep, and I think have really aided well to my success so far. And we've been really consistent in this prep, and I'm really proud about that. I've been running for just over 3 years at this point, and I'm definitely not a great runner, but one thing is for sure is that I love the process of showing up day in and day out, because there's one thing the Bible talks about too. It's like a man can pride himself on his hard work. It's one thing a man can pride himself on. It's in Proverbs. And there's been a couple of things. I want to tie this back to faith, because at the end of the day, when we think about resiliency and consistency, it's the hallmarks of faith, right? It's like what God calls us to do and be in this world, society today. He calls us to be set apart so that we can share the good news of the gospel. And, my favorite verse is Acts 20:24, and that says, I do not care about my own life. My only aim is to finish the good work the good Lord has given me to do, and that is to spread the good news of the gospel. I think about that every single day. In accordance with that, I think 2 Timothy 4:2, and that says, be ready to spread the word in and out of a season, to reprove, rebuke, exhort, and all complete patience and teaching. And I think those are two verses that really remind me of what my true calling is here. And they aid in that discipline and in that motivation, and the resiliency piece to it. Because I think when I get down, or I'm a little worried, even on the runs particularly, I'm like, holy crap, I've got 10 more miles to go, and I just ran 10 miles. And I'm like, okay, let me draw on my strength here. My strength comes from the Lord. I'm very thankful to be able to do this, right? And I'm not injured. And so, yeah, there's another verse that really just like motivates me to day to like do what I'm called to do, and that's Matthew 5:16, and that's shine your light upon men, so that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. And all these verses are just verses for me that kind of center me and bring me back to reality of like what's my true mission here. Because at the end of the day, these goals that we're trying to strive to achieve are selfish at the end of the day. And one of the best things that we can do is reframe our mindset to be like, no. I'm doing this to glorify the Lord. And whether it's a commitment to running a marathon, an Ironman triathlon, to be an absolute unit at your job, whether you're a finance bro or you work at a nonprofit, it doesn't matter. You work hard, you show up every day. This is what we got to tie it back to. We have to tie it back to the fact that this is a gift from the Lord.
But I understood something. I understood that nobody was coming to fucking save me. And that was the hardest pill to swallow. Because I would say to my therapist all the time, what do you do when you know no one's coming to save you, but you're unable to save the problem? Ain't nobody worried about you. Even if I had committed suicide in my lowest days, the internet wouldn't cry, bro. It's you. The word you make to yourself, and this is what you hold yourself accountable to, your family and God. Nothing else. So focus, regroup. If there's something you want to change in your life, cool, you know what the problem is. That's step one. Now, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
We've got 18 miles today on the schedule. We've got 8 miles at marathon pace. We've got 2 at lactate threshold. And we've got 2 at marathon pace again. And I've been thinking about this run all week. And I'm locked in. It's a crappy day outside. It's 70 degrees to start this run. So it's going to be humid, muggy. But there's really no excuse, right? So you never know what race is going to be like. So show up and get to work. My ankles hurt. My Achilles hurt. My toes hurt. It's another day at the office, right? You can make all these excuses, but you sign up for something, you have a goal, and you don't hit that. For whatever reason, you didn't hit it. And I'm not going to let that be an excuse today. It's time to work. Right now, we're going to read a psalm, and then I'm going to take my supplements, put this freeze roll on the ankles, and then we'll have a little bit of toast with some peanut butter and honey, a little bit of maple syrup on top, and that'll be our pre-run fuel, and then we're out the door. That's the morning routine. We're going to stretch a little bit and roll out, and then we'll go and get after it. It's something that I just keep coming back to with running, and there's nothing in this life challenges us in the way running does. It's honestly why I got started in the first place. It's like, what can I do that's gonna be tough? And now that I don't have football, right? And every single day, it's just like a choice. And you can bike 20, 30 miles, 40 miles, even 50 miles. You could swim, you can lift, you can do whatever. But running is that one thing that hurts so much that you just can't go any further or take another step, but it's just easy enough to where you can keep going one more step, right? And job doesn't do it, nothing else does it. We are almost 2 miles in, about to finish up our warm-up and start these 8 marathon pace runs. Time to work today, boys.